Alright, so a lot of people have been asking me how I solve tips on Pyraminx, and the way I do it is pretty different from how like 99% of people do them. And that's because I solve all my tips at the start of the solve every time without exception. And it doesn't matter like how bad the tip combos are, it doesn't really affect me because I've kind of gotten good finger tricks for all of them. And I want to show you how I did that. So for example, what I like to do for the tips are my left hand does the L tip, my right hand does the U, B, and R tips, and I use my left hand, I do like that, I just use my wrist for it, and for my right hand I do this with my index, that for U, this for U prime, you can also do that for U prime, or like that for U, which I don't do as often. B, I do that with my middle finger, and then for B prime, I do it like that. I can also do B prime like this, and B sometimes like this, which I very rarely do. And then for the R prime, I push with my thumb down. R is like that. And I can do R prime like this, and that isn't as common. That usually happens if I like pick up and I messed up in a little bit. And so now I can do that. I just use those combos every time, and it works fairly well. Okay, so should you do this method? This is completely dependent on you and your turning style. For me, I developed this turning style because of Steven Wintringham, and I learned how to solve tips from him, and he does it the same way. As far as I know, only me, Steven, and Luke Van Lanningham solve tips this way, and we do all have pretty good results, but there are people that solve tips mixed into the solve as well that are pretty good. I don't think it really matters because I've gotten terror speed multiple times officially with multiple tips, so it doesn't slow down my solves. I think the only issue that I can sometimes have is where like my first move doesn't flow that well, and in those cases what I've been trying to do, I'm not that great at it yet, is invert the way I solve tips with my right hand doing this and my left hand doing these three, and that can help with having more fluid solutions.